I once got late because of my dad. Now, this is very weird. Julia was over at my apartment. We didn't have a house, we had an apartment. I was living with my mom and dad, you know? And we were in my room. You guys know my old streaming room, right? That was the room. Really shitty old room, you know? We're always very shy and stuff. We're like really young and we're like, oh, should we have sex? I'm so scared. Stuff like this, you know? Back then, my dad was a construction worker and he was a monster, man. He was a bodybuilder. He looked, bro, my dad looked fucking insane. Literal fucking gladiator, dude. And my dad would always walk around the apartment in Speedos. That's my old Eastern German dad. But he was like really strong, man. Much bigger than this, man. Now, it's like night and we're sleeping, blah, blah, blah. And I'm always kind of awake because I'm like, fuck, man, I want to have sex here, you know? So, Julia has to go pee. So she leaves the room and she goes to the toilet, right? And okay, cool, whatever. Doesn't matter. So, she suddenly comes back. And all of a sudden, something happens. She's like super touchy. She's like, Tommy, wake up, Tommy. Like, what's going on? And boy, oh boy, did I get late that night. We were, mashallah, bro, I was seeing a new world. I don't know if it was the next day or weeks later. I don't know. She said something to me. Tommy, you remember that night when we went really heavy and stuff? You remember that? Yeah. Well, you know what actually happened there? No. And she said, well, I was going on the toilet. And in the lobby, I don't know how to say it, the main room, and you go into an apartment, there's the room where the shoes are and stuff. I don't know how you call that, right? I met your dad, who also wanted to go in the toilet. And my dad in the hallway, something in the hallway. In the hallway, I met your dad. I'm like, what? So she met my dad, and my dad in his Speedos, right? This fucking monster is in front of her, and he's like, oh fuck, I'm sorry, girl. You go first. And he leaves again. And she told me later that looking at my alpha as dad made her so horny, she went for the sun, bro. And that's the story how my dad made me have a very good evening. Shout out to dad, bro.